There's not much that'll make me not come to work for the day, but this cold might do it. When those break, that wall's gonna go ahead and fall. The amount of money that you can make with a successful blue collar business.
It's not that easy.
I don't fucking have time to do that.
Put 80 or 90 grand.
Holy smokes.
All these job details are in Jobber for you, but first thing is we're going to transfer that transformer down to underneath the deck there, so you'll need the guys to hand dig that section. And there's nothing underground right now. That tank, it doesn't go there, it goes in the back corner of the house. We're going to put that in. We're going to do like a cut fill to bring that up over there some, because this is supposed to be pretty flat in front of the house and then drop down to, there's a garage back there. And what we're going to do when we cut this down a little bit is we're going to do, we'll end up stepping like back into here and doing one rock, one boulder high, and then come back probably another, really, I would probably do it wide enough to put the hoe in here, you know, and then do boulder wall here. This really only needs to be about 6 foot high here, and then just slope up from there, and then it'll taper down to nothing down there. As you're putting all this dirt in here, we're gonna end up having to put some ballast down, then crush and run. We'll run gutters out either way. He does want it in PVC, not corrugated. A lot of this will probably come up when you do this cut fill, you know, but obviously we got to make sure water will run there. It'll be this high, you know, you can slope this. Probably have to take this tree out just for that water to bleed out through, because you see right now it's turning. So I want that water to just go to the property line, which is the PVC. Graveling all this here. Propane tank is going to go back here in this corner. Power and water are coming in under that deck over there. Propane tank here, haul in roughly 20 loads of dirt to kind of see that slope out there, the far, what looks like might have been what they originally planned for. We want to match that. Grass mat, all this. Sheeting straw, anything else that we're not touching with gravel. Let's walk that way. I didn't realize it was so bad. I stepped out to take a piss and about lost my dick out there. This is a different cold, dude. I don't know why that tree is caution tape. That was not like that last time we were here. Power, yeah, it'll come out. You know, just have the boys hand dig to the corner there. And then I believe you said water comes in here as well, and that the well head is up here on the hill. We'll bring water and power down. He's gonna be here. He's a contractor builder, so this is his own place, so he knows. I wanted to go over it with you guys so y'all didn't just show up like, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing either. I won't be back till late Tuesday night. I don't know what Legend's doing. If he's coming, he'll be here with you too, because I'm not going to start a second thing. Put him on them boulders because he's pretty fast with that while you guys do the rest of this other shit. I'm going to go in the morning to Tennessee to work on that. You can just call me on the septic stuff. And if Carlos comes in, which he probably will, he was over there working on it too, so he knows. See ya. See ya. Thank you. I don't know if I'm cut out for it. There's not much that'll make me not come to work for the day, but this cold might do it. If I did do it, I'd be a miserable motherfucker all day, I'll tell you that.
How about a coffee maker though? I ain't never gonna be late again. I gave my girlfriend some birthday money and she ended up getting an espresso machine. Bought that the year before. Let me have
Alright. Let's go.
Alright, how you guys doing?
It's on the power.
The septic, yeah. Where this board is the approximate location.
I'll get the guys to expose that.
John had a vision, as opposed to the engineer who came up with a wall that was going across here. It was going 6 figures plus. I know, and it was kind of like, I don't think that's happening. That's going to be 3 feet, the power company told me. The gas guys, they say they're coming tomorrow. Based on the weather, I'm not sure. They said they're coming to connect it, so if the tank's there.
Yeah, we'll get the tank in today for sure.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but this year. Now there's things in life that you've always feared. Plead the prayer and fix your name. You're coming on strong. I know your night's been long, but I can see you coming around the bend. Oh, and kicking to the end, like Prefontaine from an outside lane. Proving them wrong, coming on strong.
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure we had this done for well. Yeah, we wasn't hold up on nobody as far as that.
Coffee. No coffee.
Alright guys, I just got back from Vegas last night. It is end of the year coming up here. Lots of downtime for us guys that are in the trades, whether that's because we're running out of work with the season or it's snowy, cold, rainy. Either way, you should be spending a lot of time at your desk. This is a great time right now to try to get caught up on some of your systems, maybe even increasing some of your prices on your products and your labor line items. We're gonna take some time to do that in Jobber. We have a lot of different stuff built out in here, and if you guys don't have this stuff built out, this is really what saves you a ton of time during the season. Building quotes, you can just come in, you choose, you know, whatever it is that you're putting on the job, 15-inch pipe, mini excavator, mobilization, labor for that machine by the hour, your man labor by the hour, retaining wall square footage prices. They should all be built out in the software already. So when you sit down to build a quote, it's all already there. You just begin to type it, it pops up, click on it, you just fill the quantity in, and a quote really should only take you a few minutes if you have all this stuff built out. At the end of the year, if you have all this stuff built out and you want to increase your prices, whether that's just putting a blanket percentage across the board, or you want to go and verify that, like right here we have 36-inch HDPE pipe. Our cost is $69.55 per linear foot. We mark that up 50%. So the unit price to the customer is $104.32. If we are going through and checking our prices, we may want to call our vendor and say, hey, what's the current price per linear foot for 36-inch pipe? If it's changed, maybe it's went down some, and we can save the customer some money by updating this. Maybe it's went up, and if we leave it the same, we're going to lose money if we don't update that. A service, for example. Okay, so right here is our dump truck hauling service. It's an in-house hauling. I want to change this description for per hour. So there's other things like this as well that we can go in here and change. We can add a photo here of our dump truck, so when it shows up, the customer's already know what to expect. Our unit cost per hour for a dump truck is typically about $50 an hour, so that will help us whenever we go to job expense. If all these numbers are already in here, then it shows us our true expense for the job, so that helps us throughout the year as well. So I'm going to go ahead and update that. Let's see what I have for the dozer, $200 an hour. I actually want to increase that this year to $250 per hour. A photo of the dozer that we're currently using. Going to be buying a new dozer soon, so we'll probably update that photo of the new dozer, so when people see it on the job, if we're billing for time and material, they know which machine is there and how many hours that we've allocated for that particular machine. So I'll update that. And then really we need to go through and just check out a lot of these services and products that we're billing out to our customers to be sure that, number one, we're being fair to them, and number two, we're billing accordingly for what our business needs to get our profit margins. This is all kept within inside of Jobber here, so again, if this is all set up and updated regularly, makes your life a whole lot easier during the season, buys a lot of your time back. I know a lot of you guys, one of the biggest constraints is actually getting back to the office and taking the time to do the quote, because it is a big time constraint, and we think in our heads, well, that's not producing work, so it's not producing money, so we kind of avoid it. But if all this is as simplified as it can be with this stuff in here, like again, quotes really should take less than just a few minutes. So if you're not currently using a software for this and you're interested in trying Jobber out, Jobber's Cyber Monday deal is still running. You got a few days left. If you're interested in trying it, you can click the link in the description. Yes, Dave? We talking. Yes, Dave. Even just little walls, it's all look at those back here. See that drain? It's just ripped in half. What are you thinking on a repair on this, man? Are you thinking tear out and put back, or put something in front of the lower? The quick easy fix would be putting something in front of the lower wall, but the upper walls they're gonna fail also. They're already pushing out.
The whole thing's not built right. I'd be hesitant to run sort of repair to it. I'd almost want to rip the whole thing out and try again.
The correct fix there is unfortunately having to do both lower and upper. She's thinking only the lower, but the uppers, I mean, I can put my hand in spots in the upper already, and it's not as evident as the bottom, but I mean, it's on its way. Cut behind it and backfill correctly, we're gonna have to cut half that driveway out.
What's gonna be the cost on that?
About 850 square feet by the time we have some waste. I would multiply that. If we're gonna do those vertilocks, the small blocks, I'd multiply that by 65 for a build, so that's 55 for build, but that does not include tear out and removal of existing, as well as tear out and put back of driveways. Another 30 on that, so somewhere around 85 grand. It'll be a slow, tedious one too, you know, because of where it's at. I'll put some numbers together over for them and send it over to them. I know they just did due diligence trying to get a credit. They'll have to do the project. Someone's gonna have to do the project at some point, so I'll get that over to them. If they decide to pull the trigger, I'll call you back for a design.
Yeah, that sounds good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, likewise, brother. Thank you. Oh, is that not one of them hot chips?
Oh, seaweed.
Oh, seaweed?
Try
Like
one,
for a
dude.
fucking sushi wrap? That's what that is.
It's like a,
Yeah, it's a sushi wrap. It's the same thing.
no, not for a wrap because they're dry. Like, look.
I thought it was one of them hot chips you was feeding Carlos.
No, try one,
Nah, I'm
man.
good.
They're
Thank
good.
you, man. We just ate. Where is the well? Did he point it out to you up here? Be mindful of doing this wall here. When we come up with that wall on this end here, Legend, we're only going to come up about 8 feet and then slope this into it.
That tree, the big tree right here, wrap it into that one. And if we knock that tree down, we can kind of
Yeah.
get rid of it, like suck that in.
Yeah, I think we need to knock that one down just so that water
Yeah.
blends out through there.
I want to do the big wall first.
Yeah, so
And
you
then-
sit in front of it.
Like that's a lot more dirt that way, but once that's in, I cut out what I need. Extra time for Robbie, he can dump up to the land.
Yeah, I told him just keep bringing it up there. They're just gonna use it for time filler stuff. We really need to get the dozer over there. Do you want to use? What do you want to use? The skid steer or the dozer in the back? Oh, okay. All right. So then we can just bring the dozer to land and push up that gravel when it gets there. He'll tailgate spread it, you know. Robbie will. But
I'll try.
they'll try to, yeah.
I done the front of the tiny home
Oh, good.
because it was pretty wet there.
Yeah, but it's a mess. All right, I'll go see what I can do about getting some dirt local and maybe another driver because we need some material first thing in the morning. I'd say, huh? Boulders and dirt. You need ASAP, huh?
About 50 something hours in.
In what?
This weekend, 50 something hours
In what?
playing cards
Oh, not working.
in 3 days.
I'm out of here. Call me if you need me. see what I can do about getting some boulders up here. Maybe I'll try to line up Robbie to bring boulders tomorrow so we can get a couple trucks real fast. We're not waiting.
They bring one load of
57.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all of it has to come out, which also means some of the driveway has to come out. Yeah, so it's a 1-to-1. It's about 14 feet tall, so that means we have to excavate about 14 feet behind it, which gets in a couple feet into the driveway. Do you want me to build the quote out to cut those couple feet out of the driveway and put those back, or are they going to be okay with that seam line, or does the entire driveway need to be cut out, like where it was going up to the upper side, or would they be okay with just seeing that seam between the new and old?
Well, it's just, he won't even know the difference.
Yeah.
Put a seam in it.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining how much it's going to cost, but it's going to be devastating to these sellers. But the reality is, they're going to have to do it for us or the next guy.
Someone's going to have to do it no matter what, and it's unfortunately actually going to have to be done probably sooner than most folks think.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, that lower there at the deck, between each of those blocks, they have little fiberglass sticks essentially that hold them together, and those are got so much pressure on them now that when those break, that wall's going to go ahead and fall in that corner. I'd be very surprised if that wall makes it through the winter time, because not only will that fiberglass be more brittle, but with the frost heave, it's going to be pushing more pressure on that lower wall with water and freezing and thawing.
Do you have any idea what we're looking at?
Shot off the hip, I mean, you're probably somewhere between 80 and 90 grand to redo all 3 walls, cut and repair the asphalt driveway, and then spruce or the fir there that are planted. Those are probably going to have to come out and probably won't be able to be saved because it'll be in the middle of winter, and so probably have to replant some stuff right there.
So is that including all of that?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Okay, well, I mean, it's good that I know, and I'm going to start talking to I mean, if you could get that up and send over to me, but I'm going to start talking to the listing agent. We'll let you know as soon as we get it all figured out, and once we get it signed off, and I want to be on your schedule, as soon as possible after that.
Yeah, sure. I'll get everything on paper to you over in your email this evening, and then you just keep me updated so I can kind of block off. Unfortunately, that's such a tight little job. It'll probably take 2 weeks to do, so I need to be. That's a big block for me on the schedule, so I need to get materials and stuff like that coordinated.
I really appreciate your time frame and getting it quoted so quick, and we will keep you in the loop as we negotiate. Really appreciate your call.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. All right, so the guys are gonna trim out the interior of the tiny home up here now, and we've got some ballast on the first 2 campsites. We got to ballast 3 more campsites, and then we'll final grade all this with some crush and run. Get a little mulch in around some of the edges just so there's not mud everywhere, and finish up the septic for these 5. And we'll start on ridgeline number 2. I went and shot a podcast with Brad Lee, Dropping Bombs podcast, which I'm super excited about coming out. We don't have a release date on that yet, so if you guys see shorts and stuff of that, we'll let you know when that's going to come out a couple days ahead.
So your goal is to get the youngsters interested in the trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're dumb if they're not, because right now, dude, there's going to be a lot of people out of work with AI, but it ain't going to be the trades. How big is your social media right now?
YouTube is 116,000 subs.
Oh, right on. That's a hard one to build, ain't it?
Golly, it's took a lot of work. Yeah, we've done it in just over a year, but I've got a team that works their ass off on it, which is now just one girl that does all of it. But coaching program organically came about too because there was just more and more questions, and we started just doing like YouTube lives to answer questions, and those I had to like cut people off of those, because I spent over an hour just answering questions back to back, so I didn't have time to do it. So then we started the program to kind of eliminate some of the same questions we were already answering all the time. The coaching program is not something that we push. We don't have time really to do it. I've got so much other stuff going on. It's just something that people find out about, so when we want to push it hard, we'll go back to doing some lives and stuff like that.
My normal advice for building social media sounds like you're already doing, which is, be the content. So if you said it's close to reality, Nobody's doing that. Like
Nah.
that's why it works.
It works really well, and sometimes it puts you in a weird position. There's shit that I'd prefer not to show sometimes, but then I'm not true to the content.
People think everything's easy. Like shit, dude. It's not that easy.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that's why this style does so well. Because people are all the time like, you're creating drama. Like, no, this is just fucking reality. This is what happens through the day.
Well, I think that's why it gets popular quick because nobody does it. Everybody's fake. It's easier to just do what you do and let the camera film it.
Yeah, and I think if we weren't doing that, I wouldn't. Like, I don't. All the time my content girl's like, wait, we need to make this video. I'm like, I don't fucking have time to do that video. I think that's why our stuff does well, because I don't make the time for it. It just happens, and because of that, it's real.
On the trip, I talked to a lot of different people. I got a lot of people reaching out to me. Met a lot of folks recently that we're getting a little bit of traction in the social media world, and so it's bringing a lot of folks to us, which is great. But it's also inspiring some other folks to want to do it, which is also great. But I think that a lot of people need to understand the time, money, and effort that goes into putting all this stuff out in the world on social media. I think there's a huge misconception for some reason that you just start shooting videos and you get rich from the videos, and I think there's not so many people that even make a living off of social media, especially just from the monetization aspect of it. Maybe with some brand deals, people do all right, and I know people are showing more and more and more of YouTubers and gamers and stuff like that, of people making great money, and these gamblers that are showing stuff on social media and they're making good money. But number one, in reality, how many of those people are actually making money from the social media stuff? Is it coming from there? Is it coming from a different source? Are they actually a net profit, or are they a net loss? I think a lot of people are also, in the industry, in the blue collar industry, and they're wanting to do this, and then they're wanting to start coaching programs and stuff like that. And the thing is your business has to succeed first. That has to be the priority. And the social media is just a spin-off of what we're doing. And I think that if you try to put the social media above your business and you're doing that as your priority, number one, the social media, and it can't be more profitable than your business. If it is, then I'm not really sure why you feel like you're in a position to coach folks in that space. Because if you think you're going to make more money doing the social media in a very short amount of time than what you can make in the trades, you obviously don't have the knowledge of the amount of money that you can make with a successful blue collar business. So I want to say that first before you understand what the reality of taking all the time, the investment of your time and money to get all this stuff put out on all these platforms. It's a whole lot of work. You also need to understand who your target is when you're shooting this content for the social media stuff. If you're just wanting to build a brand, then you need to figure out what's going to get attention. If you're wanting to get leads from customers, then you need to inform customers of why you're the professional in the space. You've got to figure out what your voice is, what your audience wants, what they're going to resonate with, what drives traffic for whatever the reason it is that you're shooting the content and putting it out in the first place. So depending on what you're looking to do, what your goal is, your content is going to be very different. So you can't just go copy what somebody else is doing. It may not get the same result that you're looking for. I'm not real sure why people think that, you can just start posting videos and get rich and drive a ton of leads to your business, or become monetized, or get these crazy brand deals that other folks on social media are showing off. And if someone is able to, think that they would be teaching that, not how to run a blue collar business. So there's a lot of bullshit out there, guys, on social media. I would just be careful with who you're listening to and making sure that the sources are credible. And most people who are teaching it aren't doing it. And if they're good at doing it, they're going to continue doing it and use social media as a backhand. It's not their main source. Look, the point is that when we started the social media stuff, there was really no one in the blue collar industry that was doing it. And when we started the coaching program, there was no one that was giving advice on how to be successful in the trades, which is why we started the two things in the first place, was to help folks get the information that they need to be successful. And if there's more folks that are doing it that are truly helping folks to be successful, that's great. But I think a lot of folks are misinterpreting and thinking that this is just a different avenue to go down, and it's not. It really has to be a byproduct of what you're doing running your business. The other thing is, you know, we have done this for years and years and years, and it always looks like it's an overnight success when someone does get some traction and you start seeing their videos. But if you go back, you can see that we've done this for an extremely long time. Just like the business, we've run this business for 11 years, and the first several years were a complete catastrophe. Just like the social media, if you go back and look at our old videos, they're absolutely terrible, and it takes a long time to learn this stuff. You don't just start posting overnight and become successful in anything, I think. It's just like going to the gym. If you see someone that looks very fit, you don't understand the years and hours and time that they've put into being fit. So if you're gonna get in the space, number one, and you're gonna do it for the blue collar stuff, I think you need to have put your time in your business to be successful if that's what you're gonna talk about. And number two, this is like starting a whole other thing all over again. You got to put the time in, you got to put the reps in. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and you got to have super thick skin as well if you're going to be on social media and put yourself out there and put everything out in the world for people to see. It's not as easy as people think that it is. So, and I'm not saying that to get a pat on the back for what we're doing by putting our stuff out there. What I'm saying is, if you're going to get into the space, don't expect for it to just be an overnight deal. It takes years and years and years to figure this stuff out.